Hello, Top War lovers, and today we're going to do Expedition Base Eastern Straits 1036, and we're going to see if my comps, my suppression, which is not going to really affect me, but everything else is going to be enough to be able to defeat the challenge boss for 1036, that is. And I will go over as far as what resources I'm using, and then we will go over what is probably best if I need to change it up a little bit. And the biggest thing to note is that these are level 85 tanks versus 80. So as far as the heroes go, the heroes are kind of offsetting right now. And, it's one of those things that you've seen in Expedition that you can usually defeat your opponent easier if it's not a well-equipped hero base, as well as the attributes are not as effective, of course. So it looks like I'm going to win. I will show you what I put on my hero slot skills and what I recommend in the later levels as you grind up to getting your forces stronger and your heroes stronger. Yes, of course, if you're free to play, you probably are not going to get up this high. But as far as this high goes, you're probably going to need to strategically invest in certain skills. So these are my comps right now. Actually, not my. Yeah, I'll show you my comps first. These are my comps. I have damage reduction taken, army buff, dex, and crit, and weapon buff on. So these right here help with survivability and damage. So crit is very important in my opinion. You're going to be able to luck up, so to speak, in some of those battles. And as far as the high rate of fire is less necessary unless you already have high rate of fire 10. Because on some of these battles, of course, they're going to be strictly, basically, if you're having problems with an enemy, then check their attributes, which I will go ahead and show you, of course, how to do. If you have not been able to figure that out, you can actually go to attributes up here, and you can actually see, okay, well, they don't have high rate of fire. So actually, if I put high rate of fire on for this group right here, I might be able to take them out. That's a strategy, of course, to be able to do this. You could have high rate of fire 1 or 2. It doesn't matter because you're going to be able to attack first. And if you have a strong enough attacking army, or Navy, or Air Force, of course, you're going to be able to take them out. So next I wanted to go over as far as my skills. My skills that I have are basically 2 doubled up. Remember what I said in an earlier video, if you watch my earlier videos, about you can use 2 of the same, 1 rare and 1 non-rare version of the same exact item. I have 2 march size increases, and that's to go ahead and have enough troops out there so when my troops are attacked, I'll basically have, +4 of the amount of Army, Navy, or Air Force, depending on your grouping, of course. So this right here is probably a little bit unnecessary, but was necessary for 1033 that I had a lot of problems with. I literally had to grind that one out, and I had to just keep going and going and going until I passed it. It was one of those missions, of course, that I needed high rate of fire 10, and I don't have it right now. And I'm not looking to just dump some money in right now, of course, to be able to do that, because I'm going to be able to earn that pretty slowly and pretty quickly here, coming up soon with some donations from the alliance right now with certain gems, not gems, what are they called? Stones. Alliance help. Yeah, right there. So yeah, I'm pretty much going to be able to earn this pretty quickly here within the next week or so. So there you have it, some tidbits and tricks and pieces of advice. Use high rate of fire when you can, if it's available. Try to match your opponent's high rate of fire if possible, and use damage reduction take if possible, depending on your level. If they're using high crits, use invincible. Some people don't use that, but that's one of the things for Expedition that is there to be able to use invincible. So those are tidbits of advice. Hopefully, of course, you learned something today. If you didn't know anything, leave some comments and below as far as if you have any pieces of advice for getting this high, or higher, of course, because I would love to be able to hear them so I can get even further. So thanks so much for viewing. Have a good one.